Famcast Media. Bitch!
I never thought that I would ever see this happen, especially when it hits so close to home. But this is a rather disgusting story that I want to tell you guys about. So this story was sent to me by D. Rotten From the Dungeon podcast. Thank you so much for sending this to me, because if you didn't send this to me, it would have slipped past my radar, and that would have been an absolute disaster. The headline reads, Ex-Absu Guitarist fired from band after coming out as transgender. Now, I've listened to Absu quite a few times over the year, and to be honest, they're a pretty decent death metal band. Then again, after this shit that's happening, I might have to postpone that for a while. Let me read you guys the article. Former Absu guitarist Melissa Moore said back in 2018 that the most fucked up transphobia was to blame her exit from the band. The comment followed a post in which she publicly came out as a transgender woman, urging her friends and followers not to vote for Republican scum in the coming midterm elections, and was only a brief note posted in a Facebook group. Now, following Friday's announcement that Absu's longtime drummer and vocalist, Proscriptor McGovern, Russ Givens, has rebranded the outfit Proscriptor McGovern's Absu, along with bassist Azezu, aka Paul Williams. After initially announcing Absu's alleged permanent dissolution earlier this year, Moore has taken to social media to provide further details about the treatment she endured from her former bandmates after coming out as trans. Moore says she was kicked out of the band while she was on tour in 2017 after revealing to her bandmates that she's trans, alleging that they immediately began treating her differently in a text-shotted message exchange. Givens blames Moore's decision as a threat to the legacy of the band. The full statement reads as follows. Proscriptor, aka Russ Givens, and Azezu, aka Paul Williamson, are transphobes who threw me out of Absu like a piece of trash because I'm trans. This is not the whole story. I'm just stating it here right now. It's really hard and painful for me. I need to find a way to talk about this in more detail. If they just recorded a full new 12-song album, that's none of my business. But it'd be incredibly disappointing to learn that after kicking me out, they still used my playing and songs. I hope that's not the case. During our final tour in 2017, I told my bandmates that I'm trans. This was the moment everything changed between us. I didn't ask them to call me a different name or use different pronouns. I just let them know I was trans, and that's it. They started treating me like a pariah, like they didn't even want to share a hotel room with me. I figured their obvious negativity would resolve itself once the realization had time to settle. Nothing was different about my performance in the band or my quality as a person. Shortly after that, Russ fired me in a text message. When he references your decision, he's talking about my decision to transition. After receiving this text, I called Russ back and told him he couldn't use my playing or my songs on the album we just recorded. His response, why? I said, first tell me why you fired me, and his response was, you fired yourself, with your decision. This is absolutely disgusting behavior by Givens and by proxy Williamson. On behalf of everyone at Metal Sucks, please boycott these piece of shit postures and their new band. Moore currently plays in the band Sanya and runs the Toxic Femme trans/non-binary apparel brand. Now I'm going to read for you guys the text message that was sent between Russ and Melissa Moore. Seems like it's just Russ just sending like a long chain of messages to Melissa. So let me just read this. It starts off by saying, "Friend, I have to ask B, your decision. Either way, after philosophically weighing out keeping you or terminating you kills the band. Just unbelievable. Did you fucking ever think about my legacy?" Well, how does her being transgender have to do anything with your legacy? In fact, if anything, it would help your legacy by going out in support of her. You know, being that there's so much transphobia and you know, discrimination all throughout the country, this would help your legacy. In fact, it would help your legacy just like when all the band members supported Rob Halford when he came out as gay, helped Judas Priest. This would have helped the band. But instead, you destroyed the legacy of your band yourself. Don't put this on Melissa. Anyways, you'll always be my friend. That will never, ever, ever, ever change. Thank you for everything. Also, this will not seep into press by any and all means. Understood? Well, I'm kind of glad it did. I just love the whole "you'll always be my friend" shit. Like that's something that they always do all the time. Oh, well, you'll always be my friend. Or, I always have trans friends. Bullshit. That's not going to stop the fact, and nor is it going to cover up the fact that you're transphobic. That you're a bigoted piece of fucking shit. Now, I have to give more credit to Moore, especially on this issue right here, because Moore was more than fair, honestly, more fair to the band than anyone else. I mean, she didn't have to do the things that she did. One of the things that she did was she said, "You don't have to call me a different name, you don't have to call me different pronouns, I'm just letting you know I'm transgender." You know, a lot of people would, you know, say, "Hey, you know, this is my new name, these are my pronouns, you know, respect that as it is." She literally gave them the opportunity, you know, to try and warm up to her, you know, coming out as transgender. And yet they still were disrespectful to her. And I think that's absolutely fucking disgusting. Alright? I mean, these people in the band act like because she's transgender that she's a completely different person. And then they can't accept it. I'm like, this is the same person that you practice with. That you wrote songs with. That you went on tour with. And all this other shit. And then you're gonna treat them like garbage after they say, "Oh, I'm transgender." Why? Because it disagrees with your political worldview. So what? That's more important. So that's more important for you standing up for your fellow bandmate. And that's the thing, you know, when you join a band, it's supposed to be like a family. You're all supposed to work together on it. And then for all of them to just group up together and say, "Oh, you know what? You're just gonna be fired from this band after all the hard work you done." And then on top of that, they tried to use her playing and then put her on the album without even giving her credit for it. You're gonna kick her out but then steal all of her fucking work like a bunch of fucking freeloaders. It's fucking disgusting. Now, unfortunately, this isn't the first time I've heard a story about this. To be honest, this actually happened to a friend of mine, a really good friend of mine. Her name was Brianna Bangs. She was one of the few people that inspired me to pick up a bass and start learning bass. But she was a bass player of a local band over in Pennsylvania. And they also treated her, you know, very badly after she came out as transgender. So the story is they were playing a show at a local bar, and instead of them writing the names of all the band members on, you know, the playbill, they refused to put her name on there. In fact, they dead named her. And you know how on the playbill it shows pictures of all the members of the band? Well, they didn't even bother putting her picture on the playbill. They drew a stick figure of a man with boobs. And then they tried to say that was her. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, that is the most disrespectful thing I've ever seen in my entire life. The thing is this, when you're in a band, it's not just a one-person thing, it's a team effort, it's all of them together, from the guitarist, the drummer, the vocalist, the keyboardist, the bass player, and any other musician involved. If you're disrespecting one member of the band, it's as if you're disrespecting the entire band altogether. And I have absolutely no love for freeloaders. I mean, you're going to take everything that this person did, and then you're just going to take credit for it, put it on a fucking album, and then kick them out and say, oh, well, we don't need you anymore. So what? You can respect the fact that they're writing music for your band and making you money, but you can't respect them for being how they are born. And this all comes as a surprise to me because, you know, I think, you know, since we're all metalheads, you know, we'd all accept each other, we're all pretty much one big fat family, but I guess not all metalheads are, you know, humanistic. You know, the way I saw it, you know, when Rob Halford came out as gay in, you know, the 90s, and it didn't really hurt his musical career. In fact, most people probably already knew the fact that he was gay, you know, because, you know, he wore leather and he carried around a whip, so... but either way, like, that didn't really hurt his musical career, and I figured, you know what? Metalheads are very, you know, progressive type of people. And, you know, I figured metalheads would be the last people that would discriminate against someone based on an arbitrary reason, such as the fact that they were transgender. I mean, she said it herself. The quality of her music didn't change. You know, her attitude didn't change. You know, she still respected everyone else in the band, but yet those same people couldn't show any mutual respect for her. Now, thankfully, she's doing well in the current band that she's in right now, and I will be checking that band out and possibly will be reviewing it. I know I haven't done a review since I did KK Reaper and the Carnies of Chaos, so I know you guys are probably itching for a review, and believe me, I will be getting around to that. Apologize about the long wait for that. Well, anyway, what do you guys think? I'm hoping that you all will be in support of Melissa Moore, and I hope you guys will all check out her band, you know. And to D. Rotten, I want to thank you for sending me this, because now I have a new band to check out, and I have a band that I need to stop listening to. So it's a bittersweet day. Either way, I want to hear what you guys have to say about it. I mean, I know many people that are following my channel and following the Satanic Panic Show are members of a band. So how would you react if one of your fellow bandmates came out as, you know, trans or gay or whatever? I mean, I honest to God hope that you wouldn't disrespect a fellow bandmate simply because of something like this. But either way, I want to hear what you guys have to say. That's all for now. You guys have a good night, stay metal, hail Satan, and you guys have a good one.